Despite being a ceasefire in Gaza, Israel is still finding ways to kill innocent civilians. Today we found out that they killed Saleh al-Jafarawi, someone that they call Mr. FAFO. And they constructed a whole media or a whole propaganda story around him being some Hollywood crisis actor, and we're going to go over that in this video. But let's go ahead and start reading about this and then go into it. So, breaking: Gaza journalist Saleh al-Jafarawi killed by Israel-aligned group. So, to be very clear here, al-Jafarawi wasn't actually a journalist. He was a social media content creator who was covering what was happening to his homeland, right? He wasn't working for Reuters or Associated Press or Al Jazeera or Al Mayadeen or any of these news organizations. Not that that mattered, right? They killed Reuters journalists, they killed Associated Press photographers, they killed Al Jazeera journalists. And despite there being a ceasefire, they made sure that the Israel-aligned groups that are now in clashes with Hamas took him out. Now, let's be very clear here. We know that $7,000 is enough for a post on social media. So imagine what they were paying these criminals to go after him. He's been on their red list for a very long time, despite not being a Hamas operative or anything like that. We'll talk about it but well-known Palestinian journalist Saleh al-Jafarawi has been abducted and shot dead by an Israeli-aligned Gaza clan. They kidnapped him and shot him 7 times point blank. Presumably the Al-Shabaab clan that previously collaborated with Israel's so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation to attack Palestinians seeking food. By the way I say humanitarian, I saw your comments. I don't know. I know it's humanitarian, but I don't know why when I'm reading I say humanitarian. So forgive me. Anyways, his colleague Ibrahim Nazmil published an update within the last hour that our colleague Saleh al-Jafarawi has been missing for hours while covering a media event in Gaza City. There is no reliable information about his fate. Please pray for him, and we ask God to keep him safe. However, about the same time, reports broke that Saleh al-Jafarawi had been shot dead by the clan's gunmen in Tel al-Hawa neighborhood of Gaza City. Yeah, we've seen pictures of his body now. It's very heartbreaking. So Israel is arming gangs in Gaza. The Israeli government is intentionally creating chaos in Gaza to justify its colonial rule. And then why Israel is arming ISIS-linked gangs in Gaza. So Al-Shabaab, he's the leader of a gang called the Popular Forces. And they were... So remember when they would be like, hey, look at these gunmen stealing... it's Hamas stealing aid. It was actually the Al-Shabaab gangs doing so in IDF-controlled areas, right? Because think about it. Why would the IDF allow Hamas to just steal aid? Aid is only going into areas that the IDF controls, right? So there were two stories. Either they don't actually have a real security of the places that they claim is under their control, which in some cases is true. They didn't. Hamas was still operating in them. And in the cases of where there was humanitarian aid, it was the gangs that they were propping up. So earlier this month, so this was written in June of 2025. Earlier this month, former Israeli Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman confirmed that Israeli intelligence has been arming a criminal gang in the Gaza Strip led by Palestinian named Yasser al-Shabaab. The gang includes members who have been affiliated with ISIS, the extremist group also known as the Islamic State. This did not come as news to many Palestinians who have pointed out that the criminal gangs protected by Israeli forces have been looting aid trucks entering the Strip for many months. Fact reported by the Washington Post back in November. Yeah, I mean, it's been a very open fact that this was happening, but Zionists did not want this to be shared or anything. Anyways, Al-Jafarawi was a part of a big propaganda, was the center of a big propaganda campaign by Israel, right? So there was this Mr. FAFO, Mr. Pallywood meme that was going around. Let me see if I can bring it up. Oh my God, there's so many. This one. So they're like, oh, he was a freedom fighter. So Al-Jafarawi, before he became he was always a content creator. But before he started being a like quote unquote journalist covering news, essentially, he was a like a travel not a travel blogger, but like a vlogger in Gaza and a musical like a singer. So this freedom fighter post is actually from a music video of his. Blood donor, yeah, he's giving blood uh, in a what's the word I'm looking for? In an enclave that is being besieged and genocided. Blood was probably on short supply, so hero. Foster father, no, he's very well known. There's so many videos of him playing with the kids. Um, he was trying to bring happiness to these kids. Then there's resilient patient. We already know that this is fake. Here is videos do not show a crisis actor pretending to be a victim in Gaza. They show two different men. Claim videos taken one day apart show a Palestinian crisis actor pretending to be seriously injured in a hospital bed one day and completely fine the next. Here's the actual video. So his name is, I think they tell us here, his name was, oh my God, where is it? Oh, it's probably above. Yeah, it's above here. Sorry. Zendik. It was posted by, there we go, Isam Zendik and Hamuda Hamdan, or I can't say that because it's a thing. Well, there you go, Hamoud Hamdan. 8th, August 18th, 2023. It was posted, so it wasn't even posted on after October 7th, 2023. So that one debunked, right? So let's see. Giving blood, playing with kids, not a big deal. We already know this is from a music video. This is not him. This is also not him. This is this. This is a post from October 29th, 2022 of a child who is dressed as like a ghost or something like that. But they're trying to say that he's a revived corpse, war correspondent. He already said that this was his friend. So he wears his friend who ended up leaving Gaza's press jacket and helmet, obviously to be safe, which actually put a target on his back. But this one is actually fake. It says piss on it. American Idol, he is a singer. Radiology tech, nope. He already talked about this in an interview. He was just trying to help out in a hospital that was short staffed. Tour guide, he's a content creator. He was walking around on YouTube. Like, none of this is actually like everything. Like, these two would be the big ones, or these three even, and they've all been debunked. Even this one has been debunked, so it's crazy. But they still created this narrative, and that's the thing, right? The truth isn't what goes viral. It's outrage, and they made all the pro Israel people mad enough to start sharing this. And once the truth came out, it was already too late. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then obviously there are people who are talking about El Jafarawi dying and just being absolute ghouls about it. Here's Emily Schrader, who's saying Mr. FAFO finally found out. FAFO means F around, find out. Now, what I would say to this is Emily Schrader is an absolute piece of garbage, and second, he's a civilian. Even if he was covered, I mean, journalists have to be protected. But even if you try and say like he wasn't an actual like credential carrying journalist, he didn't work for any organization, that doesn't matter because they killed 219 journalists who did, right? Quds News Network, which is a youth network, by the way. They were killing youth journalists. Reuters, AP News, Associated Press. There was one who worked for Dropsite News. There's one that worked for many who worked for Al Jazeera that I can remember off the top of my head. So my point is this: if it's okay to kill what you would call a spokesperson, then by Emily's logic, she's a legitimate target. If someone were to carry out an assassination against Emily Schrader, it would be A-okay with her. Now, I don't agree with that. I want to be very clear here. I do not agree with that. I think they're both civilians and they were both not legitimate targets. And don't tell me that, he was a casualty of war. There was a ceasefire. Okay? Oh, he was a casualty of infighting. It was an IDF-aligned gang that did it. the one propped up and armed by the IDF. You know that they were given a list of journalists, and we'll make you rich. You get rid of these guys. Because here's the thing: why did they go after Rifat al-Arir? He's not a fighter. He was a professor. He was a poet. He was an author. Because there's this stupid idea that it's not a stupid idea, but it is getting tired. Like the pen is mightier than the sword, and in this case, it is. Well, in this case, camera, it is. Because no matter how many bombs Israel dropped, they couldn't erase the fact that the entire world was turning. Their opinion was turning against Israel, and it was because of the work of people like Jafarawi, people like Rifat al-Arir. Now here's Jafarawi playing table tennis. This was Saleh, the dreamer, the one most of us never had the honor of seeing. He had dreams like everyone else in Gaza. He was a ranked player in table tennis. He loved to sing and made songs before and during the genocide. He memorized all 600 pages of the Quran and loved Islam and loved God. He was a YouTuber who started his journey on YouTube back in 2020, where he vlogged his life, added his songs, and showed the beauty of Gaza. Saleh al-Jafarawi, who for 27 years of his life lived under a brutal occupation, whose only mission was to kill more Palestinians and steal more Palestinian land. For 2 years, he starved with his people as he reported on limbless and bloody dead children night and day. He ran towards airstrikes. He ran towards blood. That's another thing. That's one thing Israel's IDF diaper-wearing forces will never understand. How to be courageous like this man. He wasn't an armed fighter. He was just a person armed with a popular social media platform, a camera, his cell phone. And he ran towards airstrikes. He ran towards blood. He ran towards devastation to try and help them. Saleh's name in Arabic means virtuous and righteous. What a virtuous and righteous man this world has lost. He woke up millions of people in the ugliness of the ethnic cleansing of Palestine and the greed and evil that runs our world. He died telling the truth. Western journalists live to tell lies. Palestine is bigger than just Palestine. Palestine is for every person who believes in freedom. Saleh's death will not be in vain. Glory be to the martyrs. Free Palestine, free us all. And then the videos are from Saleh's YouTube page, and that's him playing. Table tennis. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I mean, Eilon Levy also made this really, really bizarre tribute to him. Basically, all this debunked BS about him, he was just talking about, like he was reiterating. Just an ugly, ugly man. Anyways, I would like to start. This was a song he recorded, and then I think Imam Omar Suleiman in America helped, produce and create this. And I think it would be fitting to finish it off with the words of Saleh al-Jafarawi.
أيا رمضان هل ستراك تعرفنا فما من مسجد باق ولا بيت لعلك يا هلال الصوم تعذرنا إذا كنا صياما قبل أن تأتي أيا رمضان هل ستراك تعرفنا فما من مسجد باق ولا بيت لعلك يا هلال الصوم تعذرنا إذا كنا صياما قبل أن تأتي إذا ما عادت إذا كنا على الترحيب لا نقدر إذا صمنا ولا ندري بما نفتر فأين الأهل أين الشمل أين الدار كي نهتم وأين الفرح غزة كلها مأتم أيا رمضان يا رمضان هل ستراك تعرفها لصبرنا الراضي لنشبه في صيامك عمل الماضي صيامك سوف نحيي ونحياه بذكرى كل إنسان فقدناه وليس نقول إلا حسبنا الله أيا رمضان يا رمضان هل ستراك تعرفها
I'd like to give a shout out to Imam Umar Suleiman, who helped create this, and the humanitarian workers who were able to, from my understanding, smuggle some of this footage out so that this could be created. The fact that such a video and song could be produced in the middle of genocide is pretty incredible. Shout out to Gaza Connect, an organization that works tirelessly to keep people in Gaza connected via eSIMs, because obviously there was a blackout in Gaza. There has been a blackout in Gaza, and anytime the Palestinian civil workers went out to try and fix telecommunication towers, they'd get bombed, they'd get killed, and eventually I don't know if they just stopped doing it or if there was just no more technicians available because they'd all been killed. I don't know. I don't know what to say to this. I mean, I'm making a video of a man who was killed simply for being Palestinian, simply for having too many followers that Israel didn't like. I'm at a loss. This is not an easy. This is just not normal, man. It shouldn't be normal that we make videos about someone who died, but I think it was important to talk about it. So I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe or anything. That doesn't seem right. What I will say though is, please leave a comment in support of Al Jafarawi if you can. Whether here on Twitter, I don't care where. Just it's important that the people who are close to him see it, in my opinion. And yeah, that's it. That's it for this one. Peace be upon you all.